Hello everyone, welcome back to Business Central Musings. Last few weeks were pretty busy and I didn't get a chance to update my YouTube content, but today is the day. This YouTube video is about creating a course and uh, allowing users to learn the concepts explained in the course together with Claude. So the student, Claude, and VS Code. And of course, we're going to go through what is involved with creating such a course. The topic I chose for creating this course is, of course, something I enjoy teaching on this platform and on my blog site. It's about AI. And as you can see here, I have a folder, Learn AI with Claude. You will see Claude folder, .claude folder. You see we have here a subfolder agents and another subfolder commands. And there is also an AMD file, script instructions. And other than that, we also have a company content, a context folder with coding standards, extension requirements, and scenario. So this course is about teaching someone learn AI. So obviously that someone is going to join a company and is going to have to follow some coding standards, which we can see here on the right hand side, like um, the tables, they have to be in a specific range. The same with all the other objects, naming conventions for objects, for fields, for variables, for procedures, Pascal case, first naming. Um, we have to follow a standard related to file naming and um, the code structure. You have to put captions, you have to put tooltip, application area for SAS compatibility, data classification, access internal if it's a procedure that's only not going to be called externally, grouping in fields in fast tabs on cart pages, and so on. So this would be kind of the standard, the coding standards. Then here we've got what we're going to build. We're going to create tables, we're going to create pages, we're going to create an enum and a few codeunits, and of course reports, one report. And we split it up in two. I split it up in two. Phase one is creating a table, or tables, a few pages, and an enum. And in the second part, which is going to be in the future, it's not part of this course as of yet. We're going to create rental bookings, maintenance tracking, because this is an equipment inventory rental bookings extension. So going through the content here, scenario is telling us, it takes us into the context of this course. So we're working for Nordic Outdoor Adventures. It's a mid-sized outdoor activities and equipment rental company based in Scandinavia. They operate 12 locations across Norway, Sweden, Denmark, offering guided tours, equipment rental, and adventure packages. Current situation, NOA, Nordic Outdoor Adventures, has been a Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central. They're using BC, and they use financials, purchasing, and sales. However, their equipment rental operations are still managed through a combination of Excel spreadsheets, paper forms, legacy systems, and so on. The problem is we don't have a unified equipment tracking. We don't have a manual rental process. We don't have maintenance scheduling, and um, that leads to, of course, to loss of revenue. And we don't really log anything we rent or we utilize. Your role is the user's role is uh, to create an extension for Business Central where all these gaps are fulfilled. What they rent kayaks, canoes, bikes, camping gear, winter sports, skis, snowboards, snowshoes, life jackets and helmets and harnesses for as safety equipment. And we have a few stakeholders. First of all is the operations manager. We have the finance director. We have the rental desk lead and maintenance technicians. You have 6 weeks to deliver the first version of this extension. So that's in the company context. I created lessons. Each lesson has a number and the name, introduction, table and pages, relations and lookups, and so on. And there is a file, ClodeND, for each lesson. And if you look through it, it's basically is instructing Claude on how to run the lesson. It will have actions for Claude to stop and wait for users, or sometimes we will have actions like for Claude, what actions to take, like read company context, scenario AMD, which I showed here, company context, scenario AMD, and highlight the stakeholders. So let's see how this looks like in when we go through the lesson. So the way we tell Claude what to do is we have to tell him to follow this lesson, this commands for. So for each lesson we have a command. So the lesson 1.1, which is here, 1 point lesson modules, 1.1 introduction. We launch that with start 1.1. So let's do that. We start with slash start 1.1. We would, if we were to look at in start 1.1, we would see in one of these either JSON or ClodeMD for 1.1 learn AL with Claude. If we go to here, we can see welcome to learn AL with Claude. This is the in the ClodeMD of the first lesson. Yeah, you're about to learn AL. No videos, no slides, just you, me, and actually a code. Ready to get started? Yes, because he's waiting now for a user input. And he continues with the lesson. We can see the lesson in here on the right hand side. I'll teach you AL concepts one by one, blah blah blah. The best way to learn AL is by writing AL. This is exactly what makes sense. Let's say no. No worries. What's not clicking? Is it the structure of the course or something else? Happy to clarify before we go further. So no video involved. Right, no videos at all. Everything happens right here in the terminal. Instead of watching someone else write code on a screen, you'll write the actual code yourself. And I'll walk you through every step, explain what's happening, what does work for you. A lot of people actually prefer it. Think of it like pair programming with someone who has infinite patience. Okay, let's go. And it continues with the scenario. the scenario you're stepping into, which is this part here. And it's gonna open up, it's gonna wait for us to want to read more about the company. Ask me to show you. Yes, show me. Read company, context, scenario, and summarize the key points. So want to read more about the company? Yes, please. And we get to learn a little bit about the company. We get to know the stakeholders, just as described in scenario AMD, which is in company context folder. Okay. Now we write any code. Before we write any code, do you have your dev environment ready specifically? VS Code with their language and a Business Central sandbox, container or SaaS? Yes, I have both VS Code with AL and a SaaS sandbox. Perfect, you're all set. Let's look at what we're working with. Ask me to show you the app JSON. Please show. And now, if we're going down to where the app JSON is described, it shows in here. It's talking about ID, the name of the app, the publisher, the ID range is target, cloud, application. Makes sense? Yes. Then it goes into the coding, which it should go into the coding standards. Yes, please. It's talking about the prefix of each object, the Pascal case everywhere. Pascal case, file naming, we've got file naming here, we've got caption, tooltips. Yes, let's see what we're building, the extension requirements. Okay, 5 tables, 6 pages, 3 enums, 2 codeunits, 1 report. And now lesson 1.1 is done, and we can jump into starting the lesson 1.2. We're gonna open up 1.2 on the side. Actually, not. This is the 1.2, the Claude MD for 1.2. Time to write AL code, an enum, a table, a card, a list. These 4 objects types are the foundation of almost everything in. Ready to write your first AL object? Yes. So we need to create an enum here. And what we can do here is create a file, create the enum, ask Claude to create the file. So normally in a course you would ask the student to do it, but to make it faster, we can also have that option to ask Claude to create the file. So I'm just going to say yes, create it. And from my previous run, I have it here. It's creating the file as a cat command, basically copying the content of the screen here into a file. All right, the enum is created. One thing to notice in maintenance is in double quotes because it contains a space. So yeah, you also get some notes and focus for the student. Makes sense? Yes. Ask me to create a table now. Please go ahead. Of course, all this could have been done by the student if we remove the option to ask Claude to create the file. We've got a few notes here. Again, focus on a few things. Focus on the looking in the code versus text differences. Code fields are for identifiers. They are always uppercase and trimmed. Text fields are for free-form descriptions. You'll see code for things like kayak, bike, text, and text for sea, kayak, double-seater. Yes, it's clear. Ask me to create it, but Go ahead, create. It's already created here. I was trying it before, so it will just create in a similar fashion with how it created the enum. Um, yeah, it's talking about table relation. It's talking about enums, using of the enums in the table, editable equal false, and on insert. It got an on insert trigger. Yes, I got all that. And now he's going ahead with creating the card page. Again, a few things to focus on. The layout, how we use groups to group fields. Most of my viewers already know how to create a card page, so we're not gonna spend too much time into the details, but it's, it shows how the course is gonna go through all that. And now he's creating a list page. I think it all makes sense how the course is gonna take place. We get feedback immediately. We're not just watching a video. We get to interact with Claude, um, who's the instructor in this context, in this course. We have stopping points. The course has stopping points where the student is asked if it makes sense, and Claude is gonna try to uh, redo the section that doesn't make sense. I want to talk about, in the second part of this video, I want to talk about the framework architecture. We already kind of went through the framework of the course, but let's go one more time through it. So we have a .claude folder. We have, we didn't use yet the agents, but we did use start1.1 and start1.2. And we saw it's basically what we're telling Claude to do during that start1.1. And from here, like this is a higher level of the lesson. And it goes to, we tell them Claude to go to the specific lesson 1.1, introduction, Claude MD. Then we tell Claude to read the script instructions on how to teach and begin teaching immediately. No preamble, just start with the first line of the script. So basically it's going here and start teaching. And start 1.2 is similar, and so on. What else we've got here? We've got lesson modules, and we saw 1.1 and 1.2. And each of other lessons has the same structure, a Claude MD file, which is basically going to go through that specific lesson. It has stop points, waiting for the user, and taking an action. So stop user action, stop user action. That's how the lesson is split. And if we skip the lesson modules, we go to the reference code. The reference code folder is like think of it like a cheat sheet. If the student gets stuck on creating an enum, then he has an example on how the enums are created, or a table, and so on. The starter extension is like a blank canvas for an AL project. At the beginning of the course, there is only two files in here, launch JSON and app JSON. All the rest will be created by the student or by Claude in the case of our demo. Let's look at the PowerPoint. In the first slide, we have the differences between what's a traditional course and what's an AI taught course. It's interactive. Student writes real code. AI adapts to the student, interacts with the student. You get instant help. You get answers to your to unforeseen questions from the student. It feels more like a one-on-one tutor. How does that work? Well, you need to create lesson scripts, and for that we have the Claude MD files. The script contains top points. AI waits for student input. Student types start 1-1 to launch a lesson. AI reads the script, teaches interactively, adapts in real time. Student writes real code. AI helps debug and review. And we've seen it. We already saw how the lesson 1-1 went through. And we don't need to go through that, but here is a quick overview of how a course should be structured. You have the .claude folder, you have commands, you also have the script instructions. These are teaching rules for the AI. We have the lesson modules, we have folders for each lesson with claude.md for each folder lesson. We have a company context folder with a scenario AMD file in it, a starter project. We saw in our case that's the equivalent of starter extension. And course structure.json, maybe we should take a look at this one. Course structure.json, it's a JSON object with an object course and name, code, version, author, website, with modules, which are it's an array. You can have many modules, but each module is going to have an ID. It's going to have a name. It's going to have a description, and it's going to have an array of lessons. And the scenario is another object, JSON object with a company, role, goal, and solution. So that's the course structure. And readme.md is how to start the course. Basically, you start with Claude, and then you start your first lesson with start-1-1. What you need VS Code, you need Business Essential, Claude Code, CLI, but not necessarily CLI. We saw how we use the Claude for VS Code, and of course you need to have an understanding of Business Essential. The course structure with modules, scenario, and folder structure, and that's pretty much it. That's what I've been busy in the last few days and weeks, looking at creating this AL course. I hope it helps for anyone else looking to create courses for Business Essential, or for, as you saw, you can adapt the structure of the framework of the course for basically teaching anything with Claude, and I'm pretty sure Copilot can be used as well. But yeah, that was the video for today. I hope you enjoyed it. Look in the description of the YouTube video for a few good materials to get you started too with the course, maybe. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.